Hi there, my name is Christine Whelan, and I'm known as the Happy Professor because I teach a class called Consuming Happiness at the University of Wisconsin at Madison. Now, the last year has been kind of difficult to be a happy professor because I very much believe in practicing what I preach, and it's hard to preach happiness and purpose and self efficacy when the world around you seems not to be cooperating. So, at the end of 2020, I thought it's great. 2021 is on its way. It's going to be a new start. But you know what? That didn't work out so well for me initially, and it may not have worked out so well for you. So I want to make a little quick video for you to tell you what I'm doing in hopes that it'll give you 3 useful steps to begin again and say Happy New Year 2.0. So for me, 2021 didn't start as planned, and maybe it didn't start as planned for you either. I saw all these social media memes saying I'd like to cancel my subscription to 2021 because I did the free 30-day trial and I'm not interested. Those first few weeks of the year were really, really difficult. They were difficult nationally and politically. They were difficult with rising COVID death numbers. It has been a very, very difficult time. So for many of us, we're kind of feeling out of whack. We don't have our center. I kind of feel like this donut, and you might too. So what is the answer? Well, there are no simple solutions here, but one thing I am doing for myself is I am beginning again. Today is February 1st, 2021, and I would like to wish you all a Happy New Year, or at least Happy New Year the Happiness Professor style. So here's the way it's going to go. I am going to tell you 3 steps that I am taking to restart my new year in hopes that maybe you can apply them in your own life. The first step is to begin with purpose. So instead of thinking about all the changes you want to make, all of the goals and the hows, start with why it matters. What matters most to you? Why does it matter to you? How do you live on purpose? Now, maybe you've heard me say this many times. Maybe this is the first time you've ever heard this idea. Either way, what I'd like you to do is to think about what matters most to you. What are your values? What are you good at? Who do you want to positively impact? And also acknowledge that there might be some anxieties and fears that would stand in your way of reaching these purposeful goals. Can you set purpose-based commitments to not just make changes about physical fitness or emotional well-being or reaching out and being more social, but can you make purpose-based commitments to live what matters most to you right now? And to do that, I recommend a purpose statement exercise. So on my website, christinewhelan.com, there is a free PDF download where you can do a purpose statement for 2021. You could do a purpose statement just for the day. You can do it with your family. You can do it with your friends, with your workplace. Anytime you want to kind of keep on track and focus on these 5 things that I have found through my research really helps people answer that question of why does it matter so that they can be emboldened to actually make it happen in their lives. So that you ask your values, your core values, your strengths, what you're good at and what you want to do, who you want to positively impact, what are the fears and anxieties that might hold you back because we all have them, and finally, what specific purpose-based commitments can you make to live this idea today? Now, once you do that, that's a big step. You might feel incredibly empowered. You are going to do it. But you remember, like last month, it didn't go so well. And potentially your resolutions and ideas of change have not gone so well in the past. I know mine certainly haven't in the last month. So I am now adapting a wonderful phrase, one of my favorite phrases from C.S. Lewis. In Mere Christianity, he wrote this wonderful passage about how to love your neighbor. And he said, instead of worrying about how to love your neighbor, just act as if you love your neighbor. Well, in this case, instead of worrying about how to live on purpose and how to embrace this year on purpose, I am encouraging you, C.S. Lewis style, to act as if. So I've adapted his quote right here, and I said, do not waste time bothering whether you really want to live your purpose today. As soon as we do this, we find one of the great secrets. When you are behaving as if you were living purposefully, you will presently come to embrace it. So what that kind of boils down to is just do it. Figure out the things that you're going to do and don't ask too many questions about whether you want to do it really right in the moment. If it is in keeping with your values, then you are embracing a eudaimonic kind of happiness by buckling down and doing what matters to you, and you will reap the benefits in the end. The final step is to know that you are not alone. And this really kind of embraces an eco-you perspective rather than an ego-you perspective. So an eco perspective of the world is a perspective that realizes that it's not just you out there. That there are others that you can engage in pro-social behavior. And anytime you are doing something that is pro-social, that involves other people doing good for other people, you get happier. You also have more motivation when you are making commitments that involve other people, because then, they're waiting for you if you don't follow through. Do something pro-social every day. Think about the pro-social activity that you can do every day in keeping with your purpose. That's what I'm going to do. At the same time, I've said act as if and push through it and just do it. That's some tough love stuff. Know that there is a reason why it is hard for you right now. Our lives have been upended in the last year, and it doesn't look like it's getting better anytime soon. So, have some compassion for yourself. Now is the time for self-love. Everyone is talking about it, but it's really, really hard to do. So you can also act as if you love yourself. What would a person who engages in self-love do? What would a person who is pro-social and loving their neighbor do? How can you begin 2021 again from a place of more peace, more love, and yes, more activity? With that, I encourage you to start today. So step 1 is figure out what matters most to you and how you can make it happen in your life with some real purpose-based commitments. And step number 2 is to just do it. Act as if. That is really the guiding principle for me right now. I'm going to just get up and do it, and I hope you will too. And step 3 is know that when it's hard, you are not alone. We are all suffering from a sort of acedia, a sort of pandemic fatigue, just exhaustion right now. This is the time to dig deep, to do what we know is right, to engage in pro-social behavior and reach out. And I'm hoping that February 1st, 2021 is the start of my really happy 2021 and my new year. And if not, I'm going to act as if it is. I hope this video was helpful to you. I'm Professor Christine Whelan, the Happy Professor. You can learn more about all of this on ChristineWhelan.com.